Greetings everyone, this is Char, and thank you for tuning in to the Just Ask Char advice channel. If you have a letter for advice, you can send it to JustAskChar@gmail.com. Today I have a letter from a gentleman, and he writes, Dear Char, I am a content creator and I am concerned about my name being used in a magazine without my consent. Now, because this is a content creator, I will make sure that he has anonymity, so I will not read his letter verbatim. I would use the highlighted points in the letter of his concerns, and I will only speak on those things. And thank you for your letter. Okay. In the letter, you mentioned that there was a live stream that you watched, and this is where you first gained knowledge of said magazine, as well as your name in the magazine. In the live stream, you mentioned that the owner stated that he had been a supporter and had been around for several years. I have been in the space since 2015, and I have not seen either name that he uses. I have not seen the avatar. I have not seen the name Father Time or Dr. Spencer Holman. You're not the only one that has never seen his name before. And I used to mod a minimum of 15 channels. I've never seen a comment in the comments section or in a live stream under either name. So I've not seen them either. You mentioned that the owner stated in the live stream that this move was to help you, i.e. black men, in this space, the manosphere. It was a way of giving back. Now, when I read that, I chuckled to myself because that reminds me of a scene in the movie What's Love Got to Do with It?
They call it not Morris Atlanta.
Hey, look here, what the fuck was that? What the problem is? What, you done forgot the words?
Of course I can remember the words like I wrote it.
Yeah, you wrote the motherfucking song and now you can't even remember the goddamn words? I mean, what the fuck you doing? Yeah, all right now, look. Ain't nobody gonna buy this motherfucker unless you sing this motherfucker the way I know you can sing it, Ann.
I'm trying to help, Ike, all right?
Trying to help Ike. You trying to help Ike? I ain't the motherfucker that need help. You the one that needs some help.
As you see clearly, Tina has written a song, so she written it and she has the melody of what she wants it to be. It's her song. However, in the clip, Ike says she's the one that needs help, not him. You also mentioned in the letter that the owner offers a sponsorship and it's a product that focuses on male sexual enhancement. Now, I don't know about you really personally, but I don't find you being the face of that type of product. But I do picture Bob.
This is Bob. Bob is doing well. Very well indeed. That's because not long ago, with just a quick phone call, Bob realized that he could have something better in his life. And what did he get? Why, a big boost of confidence, a little more self-esteem, and a very happy missus at home. This is Bob. Bob is looking cool. And with a call to insight about natural male enhancement, Bob is living large. In a few short weeks, Bob has a big new spring of confidence. A generous swelling of pride. And the one thing every man deserves, a little well-earned respect from the neighborhood.
I used to love those commercials. I even wanted to buy the t-shirt, but they had caught him for fraud for the product, so I never got a chance, but I did want that t-shirt. Is that something that you endorse? Are you okay with that? That's something that you may want to consider. You also mentioned that the owner stated that the magazine is free, but Amazon requires him to charge 99 cents. And my question is, so if it's free, but it's a charge of 99 cents and your name is in it, do you get a copy at no charge? Were you even offered a copy of the magazine? Now, going back to you gaining knowledge of this in a live stream, I would say the answer to that is no. Because you just found out this information in a live stream, I'm just wondering, what if you weren't able to watch the live stream? What if you had to work that day or do something with your family or anything? You were sick or decided to watch Netflix. How would you have gotten the information that you were able to watch, because the original live stream was taken down and you would have had to rely on other content creators to discuss it, because it was talked about in different live streams, but that's where you would have gained knowledge. So how is that respectful, and how is that helping you? Let's go back to helping you. Yeah, how is that helping you? How does it help you for your name to be in a magazine that you don't know about, that you found out happenstance, that is supposed to be free? However, it has to be a charge, and you weren't even given a copy because you didn't even know about it because you weren't contacted. So it's a lot of confusion here for me, and I don't like confusion, so the answer for me would just be really clear. But as far as what you're asking for my advice, these are just things that I want you to consider when you make your decision of whatever that would be. How do you know what's in the magazine? And more so, do you agree with it? And what if you did not agree with it? Is that something that you want your name attached to? Would you know beforehand? Because starting off, if you didn't know, if you weren't told before, what are the chances of you being contacted to know or getting an advance copy to know if that's something that serves a good purpose for you with your name being used? There was no communication in the beginning, so that's blatant disrespect. So how can you trust anything past day one of your first encounter with this person? It just leaves a lot of questions that need to be answered so far with reading what you've written. I have a live stream every Friday, and depends on what the letter is or the topic, I will share, a personal story about, an event. And this is one I mentioned not too long ago. And you may not have heard it, so I'll share it with you now. There was a job that I was working, and it was in the mid-90s, I believe. And this company I worked for, they volunteered my information to a charity. And it left a really bad taste in my mouth, and let me explain that. I'm sitting at my desk, and the manager walks up and hands me a card. And on this card has my name, has my social security number, and it had the minimum amount to donate checked off. So I looked at it and I'm like, I don't know this charity, and why do they decide for me if I want to give to this charity just because I work for this company? So I torn the card up, especially since it had my social security number on it, and I threw it in the garbage. So the manager approached me, I think the end of the week or the following week, and asked where was my card because it was missing. So I told her, I said, well, I'm not interested in donating to that charity. So I tore the card up and threw it in the garbage. And she says, oh, no. You have to give it back. I said, well, I've thrown it in the garbage. So she gave me a blank card. I had to write my name, social security number, and write that I was not interested in donating to that charity. Now, I had to do that. However, I felt some kind of way, and I let the manager know. Why do I have to do this? Why am I being volunteered to donate to a charity I do not know of? And I'm the one that have to opt out of it. Why do I have to do that? And because of that experience, I'm not even going to consider that charity. Now, it could have just been the company. The company could have done that on its own. But because it was attached to the charity, every time I see the name of that charity, I just go the opposite direction. I'm like, I am not contributing just because of that bad experience. And that was my first experience. So unfortunately, sometimes things can carry on and you have that feeling. And I have that feeling about this charity every time I see it. But on that note, that charity is nowhere within 50 miles of the Black community. You also mentioned in a letter that the owner said the magazine will be in a church. I'm not quite sure if your content would be something that anyone in a church would like to listen to. And that's no disrespect to your content, but let's be honest, some of the things that's discussed is not something that is taught in a church or even the church discuss on any given Sunday. So that's different. You also mentioned that you had concerns about women being involved with the writing and editing. No disrespect to me. And there's no disrespect taken. I understand what you mean. And you said that there are two names, and one that is a content creator you're familiar with, and the other name you never heard of. And when this was mentioned to the owner, he stated that he had the final word, and he only had the two women there for another set of eyes. You may want to question that because the content creator, Ramil, only have 5 characters in his name, and that was misspelled. So that's just some food for thought. And lastly, you mentioned that the owner said he had no regret on how he did it because it would have taken 6 months or longer to go around and get every content creator's consent. With that being said, he's telling you you actually did not have any choice. Attached in the description area is a video from a male content creator that looks into this a little deeper. You can take a listen to that as well. I wish you the best. Thank you everyone for tuning back in to Just Ask Char Advice channel. At 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on Fridays, there will be a live stream, and I hope to see you then. Again, if you have a letter for advice, you can send it to JustAskChar@gmail.com. And who knows, the next letter could be your letter that I read. And until then, peace.